Hi, I'm Scott Binsack. Thank you for joining me. Tonight, I'm going to be discussing the difference between living and just existing. And there's a huge difference. Do you get up every day and live, or do you get up every day and just exist? Living is being happy where you are in your life right now. Existing is going through the daily routine and the rat race every day, unhappy with who you are and where you are in your life. I've been there. I know it well. Just to exist is being trapped within oneself, your own box. You can get out of that box. It doesn't matter who you are, what your past is, what guilt you may have, what traumas you may have. You deserve to live. Everyone deserves to live. And in order to live, you must get rid of the fears. Fear is manifested in one's brain. It's a safety net for many. In other words, you may have your dreams and your goals, but you're too afraid to step out of that box of fear to take the risk to become your dream. Who you want to be, what you want to be, is all there for you. You just have to know how to grab it. And once you grab it and you lose that fear, you will live. I always think back to a time when I left home when I was 15. I had my learner's, like I was about to get my learner's permit, but I had a car. And I had no other choice, but I actually drove this car with just my permit. I think it was 16, sorry. I had to live in my car. I was homeless. I couldn't go to my family. My family wasn't there for me. Nobody was there for me at this particular point. I was a child just screaming out for help and attention and most of all love. And out of survival skills, I existed. I saw more. I wanted more. I also wanted to be a kid. I got robbed of that. No high school graduations, no prom, no opportunities really for college at that time. And I'm glad I didn't go to college because college is not my thing. I'm a school hard knocks is where I went. And every day I still knock it. You never stop. And you never will stop until the day you die. But in order to live life, I had to escape the fears that I developed as a child. And you have to get over those fears. And there are many, many of us go through them every day. And they're tremendous. Do you wake up every day and be like, oh, I'm so happy I'm here? Do you like your life? Do you love your life? Do you love who you are? Have you achieved your goals and your dreams? I would say not. I see it every day. I see people every day miserable, just living. And a lot of people put on that fake facade with a smile. Oh, hi, how are you? Life's great. Love my job. Da 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 da. I see through that. I see through it because I've been there. The fear I had to get over, which was I'm not going to be a failure. I'm going to survive and I'm going to make it. I'm going to live my dreams. And not having a place to live, living in your car, and basically daily counting the change you have, I had to do something. And I went and got myself a job working for a contractor. And the fear was there because they asked at the job interview, can you do this? Can you do that? I took it upon myself to do that. I took it up, sorry about that. My cat just ran across my screen. I took it upon myself to say I could do it. And that little bit of faith, I was scared to death when I first took that job. scared to death. I took the job knowing I never did these things before. A lot of it was framing and roofing and like cutting roof rafters and things like that. I was 16. But I went on the job and I did it. I was very good at carpentry and being a contractor. It just came to me and I taught myself how to do it. And by doing little things and teaching myself how to do it and believing in myself, I achieved it and I did it and the fear was gone. Within a few months, there I was running a crew at 17 years old and not having no fear. But the fear was tremendous. But I had to do something to survive. Had to. There was nothing else I could do. I had to get a job. I had to live. Not exist. I had to live. And one of my dreams was I loved carpentry. I wanted to be my own contractor and open my own business. And at 18, I did. And using my talents to put aside the pains and the guilt of my childhood, I took those steps of the fear. I conquered fear. Even on going on very high places or doing jobs that I can remember my first job. It was a very big home in Garden City on Long Island. And I had to do the roof and the siding. And this roof was 4 stories high. It was tremendous. And it had almost like a steeple peak on one end, like a church with a 12-12 pitch. That's very, very steep. It was very, very difficult, and the fear, and I love heights, but the fear of doing this and conquering it, and I kept thinking to myself, how am I going to do that? How am I going to get up there to do that? And I figured out the way, and I did it, and I went up there and I did it. And once I did it, it was like, wow, I could do anything. I could take on the world. I know it seems like a small feat, but it wasn't a small feat to me at 18 years old. It was a huge feat, and the job came out great. But I can remember the fear of it. I was very afraid. And little by little, my confidence built and the fears went away. And then the jobs grew and the employees grew. And I never suffered with that fear in business again. I suffered with fears in other parts of my life, especially the fear of being loved, which a lot of people go through. I was never loved as a child, and anytime I trusted anybody, I got shit on. I'll put it to you plain and simple. My family blew my trust. My parents blew my trust as a child. Everything. It was just horrible. So trust is a very big thing with me even to today. However, I've conquered that by really looking at it, looking at what my fears are and looking around and saying, okay, why am I afraid of this? Afraid to get hurt. Okay, so what's the big deal? You get hurt, you get up, and you can do it all over again. And there will be a time that you don't get hurt. See, as I said, fear is manifested within us. We create it, and it's our paths that we take in life or the things that we've been subject to that create it. You can be anything you want to be. Anything you want to be. Complete the goals that you want by setting small goals and getting over the fears of it. But the first step is to get off the couch or get up from where you are and get out of bed, get dressed, put your shoes on, and be determined and go get it done. Take the steps you need to get your life in order and to live, not exist. You must risk in order to succeed. I mean, in your personal life, your business life, it does not matter. You must take risks every day. Getting in a car is taking a risk. If you think about it, you could be killed in your car, but you get in every morning and take that drive and go where, knowing, believe it or not, in the back of your mind, you could have an accident. But you've conquered that fear because you're comfortable driving. You got in the car and you drive, and the fear is conquered. It's like someone who's been in a bad accident. I was in an fatal auto accident in 1999, as I discussed. It was very difficult for me to get back into a car after that. And they say you need to get back in right away as soon as you can. And it was difficult. And I did it. But I can remember the first time after I got in, turned the keys, hit the gas, and went. Within 5-10 minutes, it was like I was driving again and the fear was over with. But I took the step to do it. I forced myself to do it. You have to force yourself to do these small steps to conquer your daily fears. You're in a job right now you don't like, then find another one. You want a career and you want to be self-employed, then take the steps to do that. Don't just wallow in it every day and get up and look around and be like, okay, this is it. I'm existing. I'm in the rat race. Look around at your life. Do you want to be there? Do you want to be here right now in your life? Where are you now watching this video? What goals do you have? Write them down. What passions do you have? What are you good at? What do you love to do? Let nothing or anyone stand in your way. You must get up and you must do it. Never, ever let anything stand in your way. It's the fear of if you're in a bad relationship and you're there and you're stuck there, or a marriage, and I've discussed this before, you have the fear of leaving, like you're going to be alone. I may be alone forever. That's a big fear of a lot of people. I know, been there too. You don't want to be alone. Alone is okay. Alone is safe. You won't be alone forever, but that's your choice. Some people want to be. But are they living? No. I don't believe anybody wants to be alone the rest of their life. I believe that people want to share their life with someone else. Do you want to share your life with someone else? If you do, take the steps to share it. Don't just talk about it or think about it. Examine yourself. Look in the mirror. Conquer your fears. They are in your brain. They are simply a manifestation in your brain. You can overcome them. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can overcome your fears. You can live and not exist. You must take the lessons you learn in life and turn them into a daily living experience. Once you step out of the box, and it's usually something very simple, you don't have to take giant steps, you take little steps. It's like completing a goal. You complete a small goal, and you complete it, you now have confidence that you can go to your next goal. Again, I tell you, you drive that car every day, so why can't you drive your life every day the same way, without fear? I had a very bad situation in my life that I had to handle myself, that no one else could handle for me. I'm going to be sharing that experience soon. And the fear was tremendous, and it affected the rest of my life. And I had the choice just to just lay down and wallow in my sorrows and feel sorry for myself, or get up and do something about it. And for a while I wallowed, and it took a wake-up call within myself to say, how did I get here? Scott, how did you get here? And look around at my surroundings and be like, wow, this is a true wake-up call, Mr. Binsack. What got you here? Because I want to know what got me there, so I never get there again, so I can get out of there. What got me to this place, which was basically living hell? What got me here? I got me here. My decisions, my fears, my actions all got me to where I was. It's difficult. Just had to sit there. Now, do I stay depressed? Do I stay there and oh my God, this happened to me? Do I blame it? This happened because of this, and this. Yes, of course, things happen because certain things happen, and certain people do certain things. But we all make the decisions that get us there. So I had to wake up, seriously wake up, and look around at my surroundings, and it put me in a shock. Like, oh my God. And now I can get myself out of here. And what are the steps I need to get out of here? Well, the first one was to stop wallowing in my sorrows. Stop. Face the reality. Reality is you are here, Scott, and now what are you going to do to get out of here? What are you going to do to get out of this spot in your life? That first thing is to take the step. I have to take the step. You got to put one foot in front of the other. You must take the step. Otherwise, you just exist. Otherwise, I would have just existed every day. Okay, in the situation I was in, and wallow there. Just exist. Going through the daily routines like Groundhog Day. See that movie? Everybody ever seen that movie? Same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And whether you believe in God or not, watching this, and I'm not, people have their own religious preferences. I'm a big believer in prayer. I'm a big believer in there is a much higher being and there is a God. And prayer helps and is very, very good. And faith is tremendous. It will move mountains. But most of all, the faith must be in yourself. Yourself. Not anything else but you, to take the steps to overcome the fears. And I ended up taking those steps, and they were tough. It's the same thing with a physical ailment. You're in an auto accident or you're injured. You have a choice. Do you lay in the hospital bed, or do you get up out of that bed and take the steps you need to rehabilitate yourself and get better? Even if you have a disability, you can get better. You can make your life better. And you see people doing it every day. People with no legs, skiing, or you name it, running. They put their mind to it and they did it. And they overcame their fears. We are all somebody. We are all somebody. Nobody's better than anybody else. We're all the same. Some might be wiser, smarter. It doesn't matter also about your looks. It doesn't matter about anything. Don't let anyone stand in your way, especially yourself. It doesn't matter. I hear it all the time, and I used to hear it when I was growing up, and not because I had such a serious childhood. And I noticed in other people, well, I do this now because this happened to me as a child. Listen, I'm no better than anybody else, but I can assure you my childhood was shocking. The things I overcame and the things I suffered, I got through it. If I can get through it, you can get through it. Anybody can get through it. You must conquer your brain, thyself. It doesn't matter what your family says. It doesn't matter what your friends say. It doesn't matter what anybody says. It matters what you say to yourself every day. Confidence overcomes fears. If you're afraid of something, take it head on and look at it and say, why am I afraid of this? And once you find an answer, don't just wallow in the answer, act upon it. You also must forgive your past and those that have hurt you and harmed you, or you will never overcome your fears and take the next step and be successful, or you will just exist. Hate is no good. You must forgive. Don't be selfish. Forgive. Don't be a hater. Look at your life. Why do I hate this? Why do I don't like this person? Why don't I like... Focus on yourself. If people would focus more on themselves, the world would be a better place. Trust me, it would. You must overcome your fears. I know you don't want to just exist. I know it. I know you want to fulfill your dreams. I know you want to be somebody. And even if you are in a situation now where you are fulfilling your dream and now have gotten stuck, which happens to many of us, you get to a point, you feel you've accomplished your goal. We'll say you have your job or your business or you're doing well, You get comfortable. Don't get comfortable. Or you're afraid from that point to go to the next step. Even if you don't have the money, you can find ways to better yourself and overcome the fears and be successful. Don't just say it, do it. Don't just write it down as goals, do it. You must do it. I am the biggest critic of myself than anyone could ever be. Even the worst hater I could have. That's what people don't understand. I beat myself up all the time for mistakes I've made or do on a daily basis, or criticize even the good things I do. Can I make them better? I've learned not to be so hard on myself as well, because, and you need to learn the same, because we could be our own worst enemies, as we all are, in basically everything we do. Our own worst enemies. If you make a mistake, shake it off, look at it, say, why did I make that mistake? Learn from it and move on. Don't stay in the box trying to climb the walls, to look up, or sitting there. I can't do that because of this. I can't do this because of that. I can't do this because this person won't do this. But no, you can't do it because you don't want to do it. If you don't want to do it, you're never going to do it. You may say in your brain you want to do it. No, you have to do it. You must do it. No ifs, ands, or buts. You must do it. I was told you're going to be nothing. You're not going to do the blah, 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 blah. You're going to go to school. I hated school. And I don't recommend that for anybody. I recommend children today do go to school, that they do get an education. But be who you want to be and follow your passions. And having an education is a very important thing in today's world. But some of the greatest success stories in life were people who did not go to college. College may not be your answer. College may be the answer. But to get a job today, most employers require college. So, and I also believe college can teach you the knowledge. However, life experience is the real knowledge. It's like a lawyer. You can go to law school, they can do their mock trials and do whatever they want. But until they get into a courtroom on a regular basis and are faced with real people and real situations and the fear, don't tell me, and I know the lawyers, and I've also been in the situation to have to be in the courtroom doing it myself. Now I love it. You could put me in any courtroom and I will smash anything in front of me. And I will do my homework before I walk in, and I'll be prepared, and I will do it. Because I believe in civilly representing myself. It doesn't matter. But every lawyer walks in a courtroom still with fear when they go in there. I just know it. It's a proven fact, and I've talked to many of them. Fear is a good thing if you use it to your advantage. You must use life experience to your advantage, even the bad. And that's the most important, the lessons. When you fall down, get right back up. No ifs, ands, or buts. Get right back up. Don't become stale and stagnant. Don't blame others. We've all put ourselves in situations that we don't like, we regret, made mistakes. We're all the same. Don't let everyone ever tell you any different. And if someone judges you, lift your head high, walk away. Don't have to listen to everything your friends say or your family says. You need to do you. You must do you. Not what everybody else wants you to do, but what you want to do. What your passion is, what you love. It's like walking out in front of a public audience for the first time, or on stage doing a play as a child. The butterflies in the stomach and the fears. Oh, once you start to do it and you go out there that first time, and even if you're booed, you still had the courage to go out there and do it. And it doesn't matter if you're booed or not, because your challenge was a success. You walked out there, did what you had to do, were yourself, and you conquered your fear. Don't worry if people reject you. Many things in life get rejected. Many people get rejected. Their ideas get rejected, and they don't give up, and they keep trying, and eventually they're a success. Because why? They never give up. Don't be afraid. Don't just exist. I challenge you to look at your life right now and look around and say, is this really where I want to be? Is this the job I really want to be at? Do I want more from my life? What's holding me back? And believe me, I've had to walk with my head held high, and I have come to the point where I love being me. It's the best peace in the world. Be yourself. Society has created this horrible barrier that people believe that they cannot cross, that because they have to fit into society. If you don't have this, or you don't look this way, or you don't dress this way, you don't fit. Bullshit. You fit. You're you. That's the unique thing. We're all different. Everybody is different down to the last hair in their head. That's what makes it so great. If it was meant for everybody to be the same, wow, think about that. Therefore, you don't need to be like everybody else. Be you. Be unique, as you're supposed to be, as God created you to be. Be you. Shine. No one should live in fear. No one should live trapped. But you're trapped yourself. And believe me, I know. I've even overcome being trapped by others. Very difficult. But you can do it. You can do it. And you have to do it every day. It's not something that once you get over it, you still do it every day. You must get down the practice of doing it every day. And your attitude also determines everything. Your attitude towards life and yourself and others determines where you're going to go in this world. If you have a shitty attitude, forget about it. You're going nowhere. You have a negative outlook, an attitude, forget it. You're going to breed negativity. Now, if you have a positive attitude in all situations, because all situations, there's something positive in it, even when someone dies. Something positive can come out of that. And I've discussed that part before. It's like if someone dies even in a drunk driving accident, and it could be horrible. There's a purpose from it. I've seen mothers turn around and come out to bigger causes of Mothers Against Drunk Driving. How many lives have they saved because one life was sacrificed? So something positive came out of a negative. They took a very bad situation and turned it into a positive. They weren't afraid. They did it. They lifted themselves up, got up and said, I'm going to do something about this. I'm going to make the world a better place. Your attitude. And I know some people with some horrible attitudes, and you know what? I don't deal with them. You got a bad attitude, you stay away from me. And that's my philosophy. It's like negative energy. I call them energy vampires. They'll suck the blood out of you. All the positiveness, and there's always one, especially when you become successful, you change your outlook on life, and you're positive, and you're happy. There's always the person that will come in and try to wreck your world because they're jealous or they're hateful. Because they themselves are miserable. They're just living in existence and they don't know how to get out of their own box. Once you're out of your box, stay out of your box. And anybody that's still in the box that doesn't want to listen to you if you try to help them, bye. Have a nice day. Don't waste your good energy. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink. And many people stop drinking when they see the truth. And this is why I'm talking to you. If you've seen the truth, take the step. I challenge you. Take the step. Look at the reality. Get over the fears. Change your attitude and become someone better today. It's like your job and your career. You want to get a deal done? Take all the steps you need to get there. And the first one begins with you taking action. Get up in the morning. Get dressed. Put your shoes on and do it. Even if you fail that day and don't get any good leads, or you don't close something, or you don't complete something at your job, you tried. If you don't try, and I mean give it your all, then You deserve not to be successful. I've had some major fears in my life. I'm now one of the most confident people you'll meet, and I can confidently say that. Am I better than you? No. Do I want to help you? Yes. Will it help anybody that seriously wants help? Yes. Don't just exist. You must take risks in everything you do every day. As I told you, every day you get in a car, it's a risk. It's a big risk. You got on an airplane, it's a risk. But you still got to take that flight to get to where you're going, right? So you get on there. And you may not like to fly, but you still get on that plane and you go to where you have to go. And if you're one of those people that can't get on the plane to go where you have to go, or even to see somebody, take the steps. Get on the plane. First step, go buy the ticket. Then take yourself to the airport. Then walk to the terminal and go through there, and then step on the plane. Once you get on that plane and you've landed where you're supposed to be, you've begun already taking the steps to get there and now have conquered that fear. But you must begin to do that and take the first step. And be smart about it. Watch who you trust. Watch who you let into your world. It's horrible to say, but at the same time, I must say it. There's a lot of not nice people in the world. Dark people. But you can't be afraid of them either. Because no matter who you are and how successful you are and how solid and confident you are with yourself, there's always going to be somebody that wants to bring you down. And that's also a fear many people get when they are successful. Who's after me now? Can I trust this person? Should I not trust this person? Are they after me for my money? Or are they not after me for my money? Are they going to help me get to the top and keep growing? Or are they not? Serious stuff. You still have to take the risk and take the chance to move forward with these people. It's like employees. I used to be a micromanager of my employees. It was very difficult for me to trust somebody to do a job that I know I could do myself to ensure we come out. And I ended up with 40 some odd employees at one time. I had to learn to delegate to them and thus have trust and faith in their abilities to help my business grow, or I wasn't going to continue to succeed. There's only so far you can go on your own. You can't build an empire or a good solid business on your own. It's impossible. Impossible. You must have faith and trust in others, thus not fear that they're not going to do the job right. You must delegate it out, have confidence in your choice as an employee, and let them fall. Let them fall. Mistakes are okay. You need the mistakes. If you let them fall, they learn. You also learn. It's a growing process. It's a learning process every day, and it never ends. So you need to get it out of your head. You're going to have daily fear every day. Get over it. It's that simple. Life is simple. Don't complicate it. It's that simple. It's that simple. Don't complicate it. Don't exist. Live. Life is too short. I had a choice after a near-fatal auto accident, and I was bad. Trach in my throat, cage in my head, bars in my face. You don't even want to know. Horrible. My truck went off a cliff. When I woke up from that accident, I didn't even know who I was. Didn't remember it. They refused to give me a mirror in the hospital. I said, I want to see a mirror. Couldn't hardly talk, but I asked for a mirror. They refused for all the time I was in the hospital to give me a mirror. My visitors refused to give me a mirror. Why? They didn't want me to see the damage to my face and my head because it was extensive. And I've had extensive surgery since then to correct it. Once I saw my face, because I eventually determined as I was, got my hands on a mirror. It was not a pretty sight. I didn't like what I saw. And for a while there, I just existed. Bad. Just existed. Didn't even want to get up. The depression set in. Very, very difficult time for me. A lot of other things were going on in my life. My business fell apart. One of my businesses at that time fell apart. My mother passed away right during that time. I really didn't. I had a swollen brain beyond. It was a very tough time. Then one day, I was looking at what I had previously achieved in my life and where I had come from and all the things. And I just looked, I took the time to look at my past. I took the time to look at my failures and my successes and look around, and I said, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in this place I am right now in my life. Disabled or not, handicapped I don't want to be there. I did not want to be there. I got myself up. I'll never forget it. Got out of the bed, had a big brace on my leg. I still had a trach in my throat. Looked in the mirror, and I said, today is the first day of the rest of your life. Nothing's going to stop you from living anymore, Scott. No matter what I had to walk through, and I had to walk through some serious, serious times. And I survived it. And I changed it. I conquered those fears. I didn't even want anybody to see me in public from my face. I did it. I didn't care what anybody thought. I got over that fear. You don't like me for me? Oh well. And now I look at since then I look at people that are handicapped or disabled in a whole different light because I've been there. And I basically could have been dead or a vegetable. And I was in a coma for a little while. And I look at people now like that and I see them. I see their pain. And I see a lot of them just existing. And if you are one of them, get up. And even if you can't walk, get up within yourself and change your life. You deserve to live. And don't worry what anybody else thinks about you. Just don't. It doesn't matter. You are created to exist for you, the uniqueness of you. It's why everybody's different. Everybody is different. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Don't be like everybody else. Who wants to be like everybody else? I don't. I want to be me. I want to be different. Don't want to be like everybody else. You don't have to dress the way everybody else wants you to do. That's why fads and clothes, I hate it. Dress the way you want to dress. Drive the car you want to drive. Doesn't matter. Do the career you want to do. Doesn't matter what your friends are doing, your friends are saying, or whatever. It's like the Joneses next door. I hate it. Somebody gets a pool, the other one next door. And I grew up with that on Long Island. And as a builder, it was common. Oh, so-and-so got this pool, and I want to do a better pool than them. Okay, fine. I'll take the job. You're going to pay me? I'll take the job. But I looked at them like, are you kidding me? If you really wanted a pool, you would have gotten the pool before that. Or you would have brought it on yourself to do it. Or if you're going to do it, do something different and unique and be original. Not what they have or what they did. Or just to brag about it. How shallow is that? People are very shallow. Very, very shallow today. They are what they are. But don't let them affect you. Be different. Be the diamond in the rough. Have no fear. Because you created it. Don't just exist. Live. And I had many reasons not to live through my life. And I'm telling you, if I can overcome it, anybody can overcome it. Even if you're at your lowest point right now and you don't even have money or you're in financial hardship, forget about the bills. That's not life. There's many ways that you can help yourself out of the financial situation you're in. But we all got ourselves into those situations in our lifetime, and everybody has been there, pretty much. You don't have to buy something because somebody else has it or because you need to be better. It's ridiculous. That's what they want you to do. That's what the status quo wants you to do. Spend more money, charge more credit cards, do this, buy more things, go to work harder so you can buy more things. That's not success. Waking up every day and being happy and at peace is a success. That's success. not just existing and living life is a success. Every day that you live life, you're successful. Every day. And it doesn't matter what walls you have around you in your life. And I mean by walls, it could be many, many things. You could be at peace and you can live your life, and none of that will matter. It's time for you to change your life and not just exist, but to live. I ask you to please, if you like this video and if I've helped you, to please share it and like it so that other people can be helped by it. There's no monetary gain in this for me. I do this particular show because I want to help others and because I truly want to just be me. And I am me. And the haters are going to always hate the more successful you become, or because you're strong enough or you're stronger than they are. Don't let them stand in your way. It's a horrible feeling to let somebody stand in the way of your dreams and your goals. Be strong enough to take the steps that you need. And the steps are easy. Look at your life. Look at where you want to be and look where you are now. Figure out your passions, figure out your goals, and then act on them one at a time. And if there's something you're so afraid of, look at it. Why are you afraid of it? Put it to bed. Overcome it and live. Don't just spin your wheels and go like Groundhog Day over and over and over and over and over again. That's just existing. And if your companion, your friends, your family say, "Oh, you're crazy. Don't do that. You want to open your own business or you want to take this step." Do what you feel is right, not what others say is right. And most of the time, the advice comes from people who haven't even made it on themselves. Don't live, exist. See what I just said? No. Live, don't exist. You must live. And there goes another cat. How many cats can I have cross my path tonight? Unbelievable. My show has had 2 cats cross my path. Sorry about that, everybody. But again, I'm real on this show. And now I have another cat crying because he's sick. Go figure. I will say this. This show is soon to be shot in a new studio that we're building. And it's almost done. And it'll be done with much better video equipment. And a couple more shows that I have coming out. And one of them's pretty powerful. So I say, please stay tuned. And again, don't just exist. Live your life. Don't let anything stand in your way or anyone. Good night and God bless.